All right, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. Good morning. Thank you for joining. As always, a lot of people on the call, so if you keep yourself muted, it'd be fantastic. If anybody on your job site, other foremen aren't able to join the meeting, just remind them that this will also be on YouTube, and we'll send an email out with a link to to our YouTube page with it available in that email as well. So since last month, we'll jump right into injuries. We had two injuries since our last meeting, both being musculoskeletal disorders of sorts. One being a back strain while lifting a box of wire from reaching out of their lift. Somebody was handing a box of wire up to them, and grabbing it and turning, straining their back. It's a one-off scenario we see frequently where it's hard to prevent those with other things like stretch and flex and maybe better ergonomics, maybe come down in the lift a little further rather than reaching out of the lift to bend over so far. The other one we had, which it's the first time I've dealt with it in 8 years anyways, carpal tunnel syndrome. You normally hear about that from typing and stuff like that. It can happen to anybody, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Somebody that's been doing the same task for 40 years compared to somebody that's been doing it for 4 months can, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Each body is different. People can get it from repetitive labor, repetitive tasks. I had to look up some way to prevent that, and it was definitely a learning curve because it's the same thing we talk about with almost all musculoskeletal disorders: is stretch and flex, proper ergonomics, things like that. But it brought up some good points of wrist positioning and proper grip on tools, adjusting tools, and optimizing your workspace. So if you have guys that are doing the same task over and over again all day long, which a lot of people have to say they're threading pipe or cutting pipe and bending pipe. If they're going to be doing it for a long time, take the chance to sit there, especially if they're new, and sit down with them and look over their little work area and say, hey, how can we make this a little better for you? Are you doing this on the ground? Maybe we can move it over here onto this workbench or something like that. Get creative because it definitely can prevent an injury. Keeping things, chest height rather than on the ground if possible. Not going out of your way to do that. I understand it's construction. Things are done on the ground and all the way up to the ceiling. So just trying to optimize things and keep your workspace as ergonomically friendly as possible can help us prevent a lot of these injuries. So get creative. Call me, call Gary, call Randy as well if you need help coming up with ideas. If you see other trades doing other things too that are keeping things ergonomically friendly, like I see pipe fitters using different things all the time. Like, wow, that looks creative. Maybe we could try something like that. We're all ears. If you guys have ideas, you see things in the field that are new and exciting, let us know. If it's something that can prevent injuries and better safety, please bring that forward to us. We definitely encourage it. It's no shock to anybody. We had a lot of hand injuries last year, a crazy amount of hand injuries, and it's not the PPE's fault. A lot of the times, gloves that are cut rated aren't rated for puncture as highly as we need them to be, and things will stab right through them. If we had gloves that were rated high enough to not be stabbed through with sharp things, we'd be wearing metal gloves. It's hard to prevent these hand injuries. We've done everything over the past few years in the realm of safety, preventing injuries. You go from trying to eliminate them, trying to substitute them, trying to make engineering controls, make administrative controls, and the lowest form of safety is throwing PPE at it, trying to change PPE. We're at that point now. We've done everything else. For instance, the dual trigger bandsaws, when we used to have a lot of bandsaw injuries on the hands. We've adopted Turner's policies on their job sites for no fixed blade knives. So there's been a bunch of administrative controls and substitution controls that have been done to prevent hand injuries. Now we're testing gloves as well. I know we've had some out for samples on different job sites, and people have been giving us great feedback. So there might be a change in gloves coming soon, which I'd like, if you and your crew want samples, or if you've tried other ones, if you've used other ones that you really like, let me know. We can try them out. We're definitely looking at other options for them as well. And it's not that the ones we've had are bad, just sometimes it's a better change. Sometimes there's ones that are better for the tasks we're doing compared to just getting ones that check a box. So we'll have some tested out, and if you would like to be part of the group that tests PPE for us, let me know. We definitely appreciate people that do that for us. While we're talking about injuries, last year sorry, just pulling it up here. Last year we had a total of 54 injuries, 15 of those being recordable and 11 of those being lost time injuries. We had 752 lost days last year due to injuries. It's 233% increase from the year prior. What that means to us is we had a lot more injuries that were lost days, meaning they were a higher severity of injury. Employees were out longer, which is unfortunate. We don't like to see that. We're trying to decrease those as much as we can and get people back to work as soon as possible. A majority cause of the incidents were slips and falls, followed by struck by injuries. Struck by injuries can mean anything. You hit something, something stabbed you. Most of those struck by injuries that came in second place here were cuts. Majority results were skin injuries, cuts, punctures, and then followed by soft tissue injuries, which would be your sprains and strains. So the changes we're making with PPE and these policies are following this information. These are lagging indicators that we use to try to prevent things going forward. When we come up with ideas for new things, it's not because we're trying to make it harder for you guys out there. We're trying to keep people safe and not injured and out of work. The amount of lost days we had last year was concerning. Nobody wants to see anybody out of work, and nobody wants to be out of work. So preventing that is the number one goal. Talking PPE as well, side shields, we get asked about these a lot. We can get them for you. We can order them for you, or you can order them from Nefco, Colony, whoever. We don't normally stock many of them in the warehouse, but we can get them for you. Anyone that has prescription glasses that are not Z87 rated needs to have side shields put on the side of their glasses for side protection. They're relatively cheap. We can order them directly to your job, or we can tell you just order them next time you're calling Nefco. But have those available for you guys. If you have guys that are wearing prescription glasses, they need to be able to see. Telling them just take the glasses off and put the proper safety glasses on. They're going to be blind. We got to do something for them. So side shields are a good option. There's also an app that I've been recommended to people, Zenni, Zenni. I use it too for glasses. It's a website where you type in your prescription specifically, and you can buy sunglasses, normal glasses, and safety rated glasses on there as well for relatively cheap. I mean, you can get nicer ones for up to $50-$60, but you can get them as low as $25-$30 for prescription safety glasses. So that's an option for the guys as well. You can always pass that information along to them. It's a pretty good app, relatively cheap. It's definitely nice to be able to see what you're doing. Highly recommend it. Anyone that's been using the safety meeting app for Toolbox Talks, thank you. We're going to start really, I know when we first started using this, I said, if you're still using the ones off of Bluebeam, that's okay. We're going to get away from that now. Let's use the app. Everybody has an account now. I think I've got almost every foreman registered on there. If anyone hasn't got it yet, again, please call me, email me. We'll get you on there. I think this week so far, I was right around 30 people have done a Toolbox Talk on there so far. We are looking and seeing who's doing them and keeping track of them. So please, if you have that app, use it, try it out. I don't care if you do it on Monday or Friday. That's completely up to you. Just please do one once a week and make it relatively, based off of what you guys are doing for work. If you're having trouble selecting Toolbox Talks, reach out to me. We can come up with topics for you to use. Otherwise, there's thousands of them in there. You can come up with anything. And ask your crew, too, if there's something specifically that they want to do for a Toolbox Talk, that is highly encouraged. And if we don't have the content for it in that app or already written up on Bluebeam, then we'll make Toolbox Talk. So that's all I have. Getting long-winded here. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Our next meeting, let me pull up the calendar here, is a quarterly foreman's meeting, which will be one of the 12:30 ones. That is March 27th at 12:30. If that's not on your calendar, let me or Doc Control know. We can get you added to that. But that is all I have. Thank you guys for joining. Have a good rest of your week.